Buongiorno ragazzi, o buonanotte, o buon pomeriggio, buonasera. Today, in this new virtual class of ours, we are going to introduce yet another group of regular verbs. Remember, regular verbs are those that follow a pattern. We've done are verbs. We've done ere verbs. Now we're going to do ire verbs. Okay? I'm going to do this fairly quickly because by this point I know you guys are pretty good at this. So, these are the are verbs, right? Remember that for conjugating them, we only apply a pattern, right? So we only need to know the endings. First, we get rid of the last three letters, get rid of the E, the R, and the A. Then we are left with the stem, which is the same throughout, and then as the last step, we add the endings. O, I, a, iamo, ate, ano. Right? These are the ere verbs, which we did last class. And we compared the endings. Remember? And we saw that only three of them changed. The ending for lui, lei, which is e for the ere verbs instead of a. The ending for voi, which is ete for ere verbs instead of ate for the are verbs. And the ending for loro, which is ono instead of ano, right? These are verbs and ere verbs are the two types of regular verbs we have done so far. Today we're going to do ire verbs. So, a quick look at this will show you that this is simply more of the same. Exactly the same method. Aprire means to open. And what I did was only get rid of the last three letters of the infinitive, in this case, ire, right? I'm left with apr, which is the stem. I write that stem throughout and then I add some ending. Let's look at those endings for a second. Specifically, let's compare them to the ere endings, which are the ones we learned last time, right? The ere endings are o, I, e, iamo, ete, ono, and the ire endings are o, I, e, iamo, ite, ono. There's only one little change, right? In the voi form, for the ire endings, it's ite instead of ete. So ire verbs are super, super easy if you know ere verbs already. And ere verbs are easy if you know are verbs, right? So I hope you agree with me that this is a fairly easy topic today. Just remember that when it's an ire verb, it's ite instead of ete for the voi ending, okay? So the conjugation of aprire looks like this. Apro, apri, apre, apriamo, aprite, aprono. And remember, when I'm conjugating a verb, the only thing I'm doing is changing the word so that it matches who is doing the action. So apro means I open. Apri means you open, you one person. Apre, he or she opens. Apriamo, we open. Aprite, you guys open. Aprono, they open. And remember as well that since the word changes so much, we already have the information of who does the action in that little word. So in Italian, we can do away with saying io, tu, lui, lei, noi, voi, or loro, right? We can just say the form of the verb. You can say it, but you can also not say it, okay? So these are the ire verbs. And then I also want to show you a little table of some other verbs besides aprire. Remember, since this is a virtual class, you do not have to learn these, okay? You do not have to memorize them. But for those of you who are actually interested in learning Italian, all of these will be very useful because their use is very frequent, right? We talk a lot about these types of actions in Italian. I'm going to pronounce them for your listening benefit. Aprire, again, means to open. Dormire means to sleep. Very important verb, right? Offrire means to offer. Notice that it has a double. It has a doppia F, so it's offrire. Partire means to depart or to leave. I know we already did a verb that means to leave, right? Lasciare, right? The thing is that lasciare I would use more for, not really for leaving a place. It's more like for leaving a person or leaving a place in the sense of leaving your country, for example. Lasciato l'Italia means I left Italy. And it sounds a little sad even, right? Partire is more like for the normal act of leaving a place just normally, right? And, sono partito stamattina da casa. I left home this morning, right? So partire, to depart or to leave. Scoprire means to discover. Seguire means to follow. Spanish speakers, remember, GUI does not sound G. You actually have to pronounce the U, so it's seguire. And then servire means to serve. All of these are conjugated in the same way that I showed you with aprire. Okay, these are ire verbs. Now, take into account that there's another little group of ire verbs that we are going to do tomorrow that introduce a small but important change to this type of conjugation, okay? So ire verbs actually have two subgroups. But for now, we are doing the standard group of ire verbs, okay? So the activity is super simple. Please choose two of these verbs, but not aprire, okay? Just something else, because I don't want you to just copy the table that I gave you in one of these slides. Choose one of them, two of them, sorry, and conjugate them and send me that file, and you'll be done with the activity of the day. As always, you can send it to me via email or you can send me a picture via WhatsApp, okay? Also, if you're behind in your activities, don't worry. Remember that I'm not being too strict regarding deadlines because I know that many of you work, right? And or you have spotty access to internet or you're sharing with 7 other people, right? All of us are struggling right now, so don't worry, right? Just do them at some point in the semester, right? Of course, as quickly as possible, because if they start accumulating, that would be bad. But it's not like I'm not giving you the points if I get the activity 2 or 3 days late, right? And also, there's a couple people that owe me a midterm, right? Now that's a biggie. So if you owe me a midterm, please make sure to send it to me as soon as possible, right? That's going to be probably the biggest grade in this course, okay? Because we are not going to have a final exam. So send me the midterm. Remember, it's 8 sentences in Italian about your typical day using are verbs, okay? If you have not done it, send it to me ASAP. I want those grades in my ledger. Ok, ciao ragazzi, rilassatevi, lavorate, fate i compiti, e anche buona fortuna. Ciao ciao.